All right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your bBw recap brought to you by BlockbusterWrestling.com and myself, Christopher Chavez Sr. We're going to recap last week's events and get into next week as well. But first, we're going to talk about Alpha CrossFit. We had the Fight Back April 27th. Last Sunday, we had a few matches. The first one we had was King Oso taking on the Texas Misfit Madness. Texas Misfit Madness making his debut in bBw. Unfortunately for him, King Oso was on his game, and that does qualify him for the four-man match that we're going to have next week for the Bliss Division title. And also in singles action, we had Cowboy Bobby Garrett taking on Nacho Fuego. Nacho Fuego absolutely on fire in bBw, getting his fourth straight victory in a row over Bobby Garrett. You're going to see the Nacho Brothers in action next week. You better be there as well. Then we have Sergeant Rico and J-Rock in a grudge match. Sergeant Rico losing two straight to J-Rock, and unfortunately for him, that makes it 3 in a row. And Sergeant Rico did put his belt up on the line. It's not an official championship, but J-Rock is holding his belt. But for the official belt, we did have the Bliss Division championship. We had Judas Rage taking on JP Ruin. These guys are no strangers to each other. Unfortunately for Judas Rage, JP Ruin was able to defend his belt, and he is going to be defending in that four-way match that we're having later on next week. Then we had in the main event, Irish Red taking on the Samoan Lion, Ray Ortiz. Irish Red was victorious, and both champions both held their belts on for another week, taking on dominating in Blockbuster Wrestling. We also had the debut of Remy's 10 Minutes of Truth. Guys, if you weren't there, you should have been there. It was great. We had Sergeant Rico come out and interrupt you guys. We're going to have the same thing next week. Speaking of next week, let's get into it. That's the Cuatro de Mayo, May 4th, 2014. We're going to run into the first match, guys. I don't know if you believe it, but you got to be there. It's going to be a fatal four-way tag match. That's right, a fatal four-way tag match for the Blitz Division Championship. The winner of that match is going to be your new Blitz Division Champion in bBw. It's going to be JP Ruin, King Oso, Judas Rage, and Mr. A30 going at it all together, all four men in the ring at the same time. Then we're going to have, for his revenge, Sergeant Rico is going to be taking on J-Rock. Sergeant Rico has vowed to get his revenge against J-Rock. He's about to put him out of commission for all the humiliation J-Rock has caused him. As you can see, J-Rock tying Sergeant Rico to the ring with the handcuffs. Got the Twinkies in the face. Also, J-Rock and Chewy getting the Mexican flag on Sergeant Rico's face. Sergeant Rico not happy about that, vowed to get his revenge. Then in the main event, we're going to have his rematch, invoking his rematch clause, the Samoan Lion, Ray Ortiz, for the bBw Championship. It is going to be a last man standing match, guys. You better be there. I'm going to be there as well. It is a last man standing match. It is going to get ugly, I guarantee you. Guys, we're also going to have our second installment of Remy's 10 Minutes of Truth. Sergeant Rico's going to be up there. Also, guys, we're going to have the infamous return of our man Chewy. Chewy coming back into bBw. We missed you, but good to have you back. So, for myself, Christopher Chavez Sr., and Hardcore Hector, guys, we thank you for tuning in. We'll see you this Sunday at Alpha CrossFit. Remember, BlockbusterWrestling.com. We'll see you Sunday.